Low quality fans of a high quality Bruins team. We got a lot to talk about. This is a standing episode because we're talking about jerseys. But first, we have a few things to talk about that are maybe a tad bit more important. Guys, Zach Senyshyn has just requested a trade from the Boston Bruins to fuck all anywhere else. Can't say I blame him on that one. That means, for all of you history buffs, that all three of the 2015 first round draft for the Boston Bruins, all three picks in that first round, Zboril, DeBrusk, and Senyshyn, have now requested a trade at some point in their career. Zboril did it 2 years ago, I think. DeBrusk recently did it. And Senny kind of went, oh, I forgot I could do that, and did it. He cites not really getting the chance to play in the NHL. I get it. He didn't get a lot of games. I think he had 8 last season and 4 the year before, and then 2. I think 8-4-2, something like that. He's 24 years old. He just feels like he never got a real opportunity. I get it. And I feel that. Especially with everything going on, the amount of call-ups we've had over the past couple years. I get it. And a lot of people are saying that they're bummed, and they agree with him, and that the Bruins haven't done right by him. My personal opinion, I never saw anything. Was he terrible? No. But I never saw anything that told me that Senyshyn was going to be a full-time NHL player. He had a couple tools. He was quick. Could get up the ice pretty quickly. Had a nice little snap. But there was nothing there that I really went, man, this guy has it. Is that because we drafted him in the first round and I'm holding him too highly? Like the standard should be too high? Maybe. But if I'm going to be honest, all I ever saw him do as a Boston Bruin was whoosh, as soon as we had the puck, hoping he could get a feed to score. I never saw him play really good defense. I never saw him make any clever plays to his teammates. There's nothing there that I'm going to go, hey man, you did so much and we just wouldn't give you the opportunity. He's been fine in the AHL this year. But when were we going to call him up? We already have a logjam. There's guys younger than him who have played better than him who deserve a shot. Yeah, we're icing guys like Bleed and Kuhlman. I get that. Maybe you thought that should have been Senyshyn. But I think the difference is so small and the debate is going to be so close. Not that big of a deal. I hope that he does well wherever he goes. I am not upset. I'm indifferent. I don't think I care all that much. Which makes me sound mean. But, man, what am I supposed to do with that? You requested a trade to go away from my team because you didn't get a shot, but you never really played like you deserved a full-time role anyway. Also, some corrections to last episode. Zboril is now out for the season. It was knee surgery that he did have. Full season. Did not see word of whether or not he could come back for the playoffs. I kind of assume he might be able to because we have like half a year till we get there, especially if the postponements continue. But he's out for the season. We'll just leave it at that. Olympics are now actually finalized. No go. Sad. Probably the right decision. I know a lot of players are upset about it. I'm going to agree with both sides. Players should be pissed, upset about the world we live in. Ownership probably kind of had to do what they had to do. Do you remember when the season started, though, and I said, well, no matter what, the Olympics are going to get canceled. The ownership is just waiting for a good excuse. We all knew it was going to get canceled, and I think the players did too. But anyway, let's talk about jerseys! It's the jersey episode! I don't really know how to do this, but I took a bunch of questions from you guys, and I'm going to kind of break down and answer them the best I can. This was requested by, I still don't have the gentleman's name, Krista. I need his name so I can shout him out legitimately. But it was requested a couple times, but I got an extra push from this guy. And so we're going to talk about it. He's a bit of a history buff, so I don't think I'm going to do it justice of what he wants. But we'll talk about it. I'm going to answer these questions. Some of you asked multiple. I can't promise they'll be in order. I kind of split them up. But the first question that I wanted to answer was, what was the hardest jersey to get? So I have 60-something, I think 67 jerseys, I think. The hardest jersey to get for me was the fact that I'm on a budget. If you have a lot of money, no jersey is really all that hard to get if you're willing to throw money at it. But I have always tried to kind of bargain bin as best as I can because I don't make a lot of money. This guy is the Dallas Stars Mooterus. Moo, like cow, because it looks like a cow, but it's really a bull. This was the hardest one to get because anytime you saw a good price for it, sub $150, because this is not a made in Canada. This is kind of a standard retail version of this. For those of you who don't know, made in Canada means that they were likely going to be game issued, team issued, or game worn. Sometimes the made in Canada leak out to the general masses. So they're much more expensive because they are spec'd for ice. Like legitimately spec'd for ice. But anyway, so this was easily the hardest one to get at a good deal. It's also one of my favorites. I don't have it customized yet. There are places that you can send it to do that. But Mooterus was definitely one that was on my list of wanting to get. I wear it a lot during Christmas because it looks like I'm an ornament. It looks kind of Christmassy, the green and the red. This is a Tim Thomas Accelerator jersey. These things flopped really hard. These are very cheap to get if you want them. Yes, I did get it from Full Moon Jerseys. That was one of the questions. It was still widely available there. You'll find them on eBay, Full Moon Jerseys. But I think it looks pretty sick. A lot of teams did these or the black ice or whatever you want to call them. Most of them flopped really hard. The ones that flop really hard usually actually end up, if 10 years down the road, end up being the hardest ones to get. Some of those we'll talk about later. People like to get them for novelty reasons. When something flops hard, it gets out of circulation. You see how that works. But yes, did get that from Full Moon. I'm skipping steps! No, guys! The command strips, the hooks, with the stickiness and the stickiness against the wall, that's how I'm hanging them right now. The tip with these is when you put the strip on and then you connect it to the wall, you have to wait 24 hours before you hang a jersey on it. The jerseys are kind of heavy. These need a lot of time to get the adhesive to really stick to the wall cleanly. So don't put them on an hour, 2 hours, 6 hours after you put this up. They will fall. You wait 24 hours, they'll stay up. I take my hangers and I turn them upside down and put them through the sleeves on each side and hang them. You can kind of see what I'm talking about up there. Little asterisk to that. That means the creases are going to be on the shoulders for shoulder patches. You're going to create creasing on the shoulder patches. It's unfortunately going to happen also if you hang them regular in a closet. I don't have the means to go all out on the jersey hangers that are thicker and allow you to have the foam and everything. There's some do-it-yourself stuff you can do with that. Right now, I'm kind of just dealing with that creasing, trying to iron it out at times. I use plastic hangers because they're a little bit thicker so the creases aren't as bad. But yeah, that's how I hang them right now. That's likely to change as I continue to develop my collection. Yes, I have a Seals jersey. California Golden Seals, baby. It's one of my favorite jerseys to wear out just to confuse people because to them it just looks like I'm a dude wearing seals across the chest and a big fucking shirt. It's very fun to wear. Also, yes, I have a Thrashers jersey. A Hossa Thrashers jersey. The reason I have this and this, because two people asked about this one and one about this one, the reason I have these is I like the obscure ones a lot. And I think most collectors actually agree with me on that. The weirder the jersey you can wear out and the more people that kind of, what? The more fun it is. My most requested jersey to talk about is the 1990s fashion jersey. It's an AOP jersey. It's all over print. Okay? A lot of teams have these. I'm pretty sure the Rangers have it. I want to say the Habs have one. The Penguins have one, but it's not the goalie look, really. Something to remember about these, though. They're not expensive. They're really not. If you see someone charging hundreds of dollars for it, which people try, it's because they're more on the rare side. But for some reason, because these are a mesh material, they're not very difficult to recreate if you wanted to do that. They're not valuable in any way, shape, or form. They're just kind of rare. So I got that for $40, eBay. And even that, I've seen stuff for cheaper. So look up a Bruins fashion jersey AOP. You'll probably find one. Someone's got to be selling it somewhere. Do not spend $150 on it. They're available out there for $35. I've never seen one in the kid's size, though. I don't know. The big guns. This is our lucky jersey. Our lucky jersey. This is my Pooh Bear. Who else, right? This is one of the more expensive jerseys I own. Again, this is not authentic, but these Cohos are on the harder side to find in good shape. They're a bit bulkier, they're a bit heavier, warmer. But look at that. That's a beauty right there. I found this in really good shape. I ended up spending around $200 for it, which is on the high end for replicas like these. If you're not getting straight authentic, then you should be able to find them for a bit lower, $150-ish. The authentic tends to go very expensive, for like $500-$600. And then if you have game worn of these, hold on to that because that's a good find. But yeah, this is our lucky jersey. Whenever we need to go on a little bit of a run, I usually try to save it for the playoffs, but you see me wear it a little bit this season, I believe. This is our guy. Someone asked a story about the Vancouver jersey, why I had this guy. So, this is another one that's not really on the expensive side. You'll notice that with some of mine as I'm, again, just trying to budget. I was a huge Luongo guy when I was younger. I thought he was just the bee's knees, man. Everything he did, I was so impressed by. So I thought I would snag a little bit of Vancouver love. I don't have another Vancouver jersey because A, I think their jerseys kind of suck. I'm not a big fan of what they've got going. And B, I am trying to complete my set 32 for 32. I think I'm missing still about 7 teams. Winnipeg, Detroit, Ottawa, Seattle I haven't gotten yet because I've been poor. All that good stuff. But yeah, this is actually not a big story to it. Just really like Luongo, and you need a Vancouver one. You gotta grab it, right? So in total, I have 23 Bruins jerseys, I believe. Again, I gotta double check. Things change. Someone asked about my first jersey. Now, unfortunately, I don't have my first jersey anymore. When I was little, I believe I had a couple bought for me. But young Loqual didn't always take the best care of his things. But the first jersey I had in this collection is one you've never seen. It's from 8 years ago, 9 years ago, maybe. It's cursed. It's just a blank Reebok. It's a Reebok Premier. It's just cursed. This was bought for me by my dad a long time ago when, he didn't know anything about hockey. I didn't know I was ever going to have a collection or anything, but I was dirt poor and I couldn't afford any Bruins gear, and I told him, hey, I would really love some, and then my next birthday I got this. The string is long been gone. I'm not sure really where that went wrong. But every time I wear this jersey, they lose. Every time. So, thanks, Dad, for the curse. You will not see me wear this jersey unless there's an emergency. Like this thing is very possibly meant for some deep exorcism shit at some point. You will not see me wear it. My newest jersey, an uncustomized Minnesota Wild reverse retro. I got it when the reverse retros just came out. It was the last one I bought out of the 4 I bought. And that's been the last time I was able to afford a jersey and not feel like I'm legitimately doing terrible things and spending money on stuff that I truly shouldn't. I'm going to get back there very soon. I've been eyeing a few things. But this is my latest jersey. Last question. Do you have a Gretzky, a Shore, or an Orr jersey? I don't have a Gretzky because he wasn't the greatest of all time. That belongs to the third guy on that list. I don't honestly know if I believe that. But I don't have a lot of motivation to get a Gretzky. I will eventually in passing, I'm sure. But there's not a lot of meaning for me on that one. Shore would be a good one. Just hasn't happened. Bobby Orr. He retired right around the time nameplates were introduced and were starting to be used in the NHL, 97, 98-ish. I believe he retired in 1977, 78, idiot. 78 is when he retired. I don't remember the details of his last season, but I know he was dealing with a lot of injuries. This is just me spacing on that right now. Talk about your history. But there aren't a lot of jerseys that make sense that are in circulation with Orr on the back. Very likely I have to get a 70s replica and send it somewhere to get that nameplate put on. I'll probably do that at some point. I should. He is the greatest defender of all time, and I mean, very debatably the greatest hockey player of all time. I should do that. But you'll find when you start collecting these things, you'll go down little rabbit holes at times. It's not, for me personally, it's not throwing a web out and watching 50 different at any time. It's having something in your mind and looking deeply into that, trying to find good deals with it, and then you get taken in another direction. And sometimes history is the first place that gets shoved to the side because all these new players are coming out and you want all these jerseys that guys that are currently playing. And so sometimes it's hard to go backwards with this. There are people who feel the exact opposite of me and miss that hockey, what they grew up with, and only want to go backwards and don't really care for the current. To each their own. And I want to make one point very clear. A lot of people talk about the size of my collection, which is very small compared to some full-time collectors collecting for years, decades. One jersey, one, is a collection. That's a collection. If you want to collect jerseys, don't say, I only have one. Well, I've got one right now, and I got my eye on a few more. This kind of stuff is, I don't like it when people use it to brag about or put each other down. This is for fun. If you have one jersey, you have a collection. 100%. So just keep that in mind. Don't feel pressure from all angles to have to go out and grab everything. Grab ones that mean something to you. Perfect example. Wait, hold on. Before I let you go. One of my favorites, Mustard Cat. Ranked one of the ugliest, if not the ugliest, jersey of all time. Expensive to get your hands on, a decent one. A lot of them have damage to the Nashville tag here. I have no customization on it yet. I also have a little signature here that I've been told and matches quite well with Thomas Vokoun. I have no confirmation on that. I'm not about to pay to get it checked out. I did not buy the jersey for that signature. In fact, I got the price down on it because I said I didn't want one with a signature. But I'm also a big Vokoun guy. I like goalies. What can I say? Buy jerseys that mean something to you. That's it, guys. That's all I got. Like, comment, subscribe. Nailed it. Go Bees.